Pan, the ancient Greek god of the wild, shepherds, flocks, nature, and rustic music. He is often depicted as half man, half goat figure, with horns and a reed pipe. Associated with the untamed wilderness, Pan was believed to roam the forests and mountains, playing the pan pipes and inspiring both joy and terror. Hence the origin of the word, panic. He is described by antiquity with pyramidal horns reaching up to heaven, a roughly and shaggy body, and a very long beard of a biform figure, human above, half brute below, ending in goat's feet. His arms, a pipe in his left hand composed of 7 reeds, and in his right a crook, and he wore for his mantle a leopard skin. So let's break this character known as Pan down, esoterically, and see if what we thought we knew about this personification known as Pan has changed. So without further ado, the lesson titled, Pan Man. Let's begin. Pan, or nature, is a symbolic figure of natural philosophy, meaning the mystical relationship between the material meaning mankind or man, or the physical or material world, and the spiritual realm. So I say that again. Pan or nature is a symbolic figure of natural philosophy, meaning the mystical relationship between the material and the spiritual realm. With the word pan meaning universal or all, he Pan is illustrated to express the duality in nature. And that is our learning objective or purpose of this video, that we understand what is being articulated through symbology and iconography. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at different characteristics of Pan, such as bodily features, and I'll explain in detail what is being veiled. Okay, beginning with the horns of Pan. We see in this Greco-Roman mosaic, both horns of Pan are given him, broad at the roots, but narrow and sharp at the top, because the nature of all things seem pyramidal, meaning that they're in a pyramid shape. So what this is illustrating, the philosophical esoteric interpretation of the hierarchy and the pyramid structure of reality. So I'm trying to use clear examples, but here's another example of individuals are organized into species, which then rise to broader kinds and generals. And we see this all the time within business models, or how the structure of our businesses are ran or our work environments are ran, right? So Pan's horns are a symbol of ascension, broad at the roots, narrow at the top, which mirrors the way of knowledge. Pan's horns are reaching to the heavens, suggesting the abstract ideas naturally elevated towards the divine. Hence why we have Sabbath worship, Sunday worship, etc. So the structure of knowledge and nature itself points toward higher or divine realities, meaning everything points back to God. I hope everybody understood that. Okay, we're moving on to our second picture. So the focus of this picture is the hair, or Pan's body, or the body of nature, with great propriety and elegance, painted shaggy or hairy, and is representing the ray of things. For the rays of the hair, or the fleece of nature, is more or less worn by all bodies. So what am I talking about here? So the hair is a metaphor, right? The shaggy hair, or the appearance of the hair, is an allegory for the rays of things, of energy, light, that influence emanate from bodies in nature. And I'll explain again, it's just a symbol of the rays of celestial bodies meaning the sun, stars, planet, and the energies that they emanate, demonstrating their influence on the earth. So I'm going to show you a picture of that. So with this picture, you see the heat waves, or how the hazy look is there. And that's what the illustration is trying to articulate by the hair or the shaggy body of Pan. Bearded Pan, or any type of bearded figure, is just a representation of wisdom, divine radiance, and the transmission of higher knowledge. And that the idea of knowledge, like light, travels across vast distance to transform what it touches. So why the half man, half stag? The concept is simple. The biformity in nature, emphasizing how everything in the natural world consists of a both superior and inferior aspect. Therefore, you see the half man, half stag. The upper part of nature, or man, is characterized by beauty, order, and positive influence. In contrast to the lower part of nature, is associated with disorder, irregularity, and subjection to external forces, qualities attributed to a brute animal. And we must understand that Pan is synonymous with nature. And if we can extend that application, that dualistic structure, that all living things exist in a state of duality, and that no being exists in a pure, simple, or singular form, such as humans share some qualities with animals, animals share some qualities with plants, plants share some qualities with minerals, etc., etc. And again, that's what the chakra system is trying to articulate as well. The feet of Pan, he's depicted as having goat feet. Why? The characteristics of goats do what? Goats are natural climbers, scaling steeps and rocky terrains. So what is depicted as Pan having legs or feet of a goat symbolizes the upward motion, comparing the natural tendencies of terrestrial bodies to rise toward the heavens. Terrestrial bodies meaning the physical matter on Earth. And one very simple example is water evaporation. An example of humans, us seeking the divine. Pan's arms, which are two of a kind, the one an emblem of harmony. His pipe, composed of 7 reeds, plainly denotes the constant of harmony, or the concords and disconcords of things, produced by the motions of the 7 planets, hence why you have the 7 reeds. His crook also contains a fine representation of the ways of nature, which are partly straight and partly crooked. Now going back to the panpipes, which are a representation of the 7 planets having influence on people. What does that mean? So one of the reeds will be a representation of the sun. The sun in the human body will represent self, or consciousness, life force, or authority. Next will be the moon, which will be emotions, intuition, nurturing, which will govern moons, subconscious mind, intuition, and again, the emotional responses. And I'm not going to go through all the planets, but I'll give you one last example. Mercury, which governs intelligence, communication, and travel. Hence why you have the personification of Mercury as Hermes, aka or called the messenger of God. Again, dealing with intelligence, communication, and travel. I hope you guys understood that. Pan's mantle, or clothing, is with great ingenuity made of leopard skin because of the spots it has, for in like manner the heavens are sprinkled with stars, the seas with islands, and the earth with flowers. And almost each particular thing is variegated or wears a molten coat. Pan is delighted with the company of nymphs, that is, the souls of all living creatures, are the delight of the world. He is properly called their governor, because each of them, the nymphs, follow its own nature as a leader, and all dance about their respective rings in never-ceasing motion. And with these nymphs continually join the satyrs and selenies, the satyrs being youth and age, for all things have a kind of youth, cheerful, and dancing time. The selenies, a time of slowness, tottering, and creeping. And whoever in true light considers the motions and endeavors of both these ages will perhaps find them odd and strange, just as the antic motions of the satyrs and selenies. What am I talking about? The philosophical and symbolic interpretation of Pan, satyrs, selenies, and nymphs is just the natural rhythm, the life cycles, and movements. So Pan representing the governor, he represents the force of all living things, but without strict control. The satyr represents youth, energetic, playful, full of life, i.e. kids. And the seleni representing old age, wisdom, reflection. And the passage what I read is just a description how everything moves. It's constant movement, the rhythm of life, the life cycles, the movement of natural forces, the harmonious and rhythmic view of existence, where life unfolds in a pattern of vitality, decline, and renew. As we've seen, Pan is more than just a rustic god of the wild. He embodies the untamed spirit of nature, the rhythm of life, and the harmony between chaos and order. From its haunting melodies to its mischievous, free-spirited ways, Pan represents the primal forces that shape the world around us. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more mythological deep dives. And until next time, keep exploring the legends that shape our world. Shalom.